I'm having trouble with the teacher.
Need help with my
I
application.
don't know what to do about my
I've been
friend.
getting really bad anxiety.
Can you talk to my
I need help
I've
with
got
my
no
classes.
idea.
It's
what
going
I'm
to be
doing.
too
No
much
way
for
in
my
hell I'm
grades.
gonna
I'm
get this done.
freaking out.
All right, guys. So we wanted to send out a video today because, as some of you guys may know, we had a colleague and a friend of ours pass away this week. Some of you are probably close to her and her family. Some of you may know of her, have seen her at school, seen her on compound, seen her in passing. And for some of you, this could be the first time you're hearing of it. Everyone's going to have their own reaction. You guys will have your own reaction the same way that myself, Mr. Jefferson, Miss Wellington, everybody else will as well. And however you're dealing with that, however you're reacting, that's okay. We don't want to use this video to talk about specifics and talk specifically about her passing, but we thought that what we could do instead is talk about loss kind of in a more general way, because I think for one way or another, maybe many ways, I think we're all experiencing some sort of losses these days.
Yeah, I think that when we say the word loss, we automatically assume that I've lost something, or somebody passed away, my dog died, a friend died. But I think loss really speaks of change, and when we speak of change, we got to talk about how we cope with those changing things, as opposed to not thinking of it until somebody passes. So the world is different now, no matter how we look at it, and everybody that's in this world today is experiencing some sort of loss or change, if you will. And I think that's what we should probably discuss today.
So in thinking about our own grief or loss, there's 5 stages, and maybe you've heard of them before. Those are denial, anger, bargaining, depression, and acceptance. And it's not a linear progression, meaning that you don't go through those feelings in order. You can go back and forth and skip around. But what's important about knowing these 5 stages is it's a way to frame or identify what we may be feeling, and understanding that how we process grief and loss is unique to who we are.
Yeah, I think what Mr. Jefferson was saying about trying to understand what we're going through is that you may not be feeling anything right now, or you may not understand what you're feeling, or that might not be something you want to engage with. I think what we're hoping for with this video is just to kind of start to lay that foundation, to have these discussions and open that up for you to ask yourself some questions, ask us questions, but kind of staying with that. What do you guys think? So if you were to give advice to somebody who might be trying to process loss themselves or looking to support a family member or a friend, what would you suggest they do?
I think the first step is the acknowledgement, right? The identification that something has changed, right? Something has changed. And once I identify that, I can begin to, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the year when I asked my students to identify their emotions and to pay attention to the feelings that were coming up, or the physical responses to those emotions, right? The physical responses to those feelings. And oftentimes, if we don't identify a change or a loss, or that I'm grieving of something, then I'm not going to identify that emotion or that physical response that's tied to it. But if I can identify that, hey, this is a change and something, I have lost something or something has changed, I'm far more likely to begin to identify those physical responses to this thing. So I think the first step is to acknowledge that there is a loss, there is a change, and it's okay for me to grieve in whatever way I'm going to.
also think it's important to reach out in whatever way that looks like. I know right now it's really difficult because we're at home and we're dealing with things what seems to be on our own, but you don't have to deal with it alone. So whether it's a trusted friend or a family member, reach out, talk to them, talk through it, talk to us, and being able to understand and sort through what you're feeling can be a really powerful step, and also to not feel like what you're going through alone. If talking is not your thing, figure out what works for you, because not everybody wants to talk about their feelings. So maybe it's writing it down, maybe it's recording a video, maybe it's writing poetry. Whatever that looks like, I think it's really important to process it in a way that works for you, whether it's talking or something else.
Yeah, and guys, I know that every video we do, every email we send, we always end with "reach out to us. We're here for you." And I think it's important that we add that we won't have the answers. We won't know what to do. Right? We're processing this in our own ways. We're not going to be able to give you that answer. We're not going to be able to tell you this is what you're feeling. We're not going to try to tell you what you're feeling. But if you are looking for suggestions, if you're just looking to speak out loud and see what comes out, like, we're always here for you, to start those conversations and provide some sort of guidance in that way. So, as always, email us, set up an appointment, whatever you need, we're here for you.
Always here.
Take care, guys.